is a
tried
guy
resetting the game a few times.
he had
that
done
shit didn't
cocaine
restart, so
before.
I had to fucking reset the whole
That seems so
fucking thing.
strange to me.
It's bizarre, for sure.
I'm a
I
little
mean, when you
upset.
talk about coincidence, when you talk about what
So,
makes
we're
sense
back here.
and what doesn't, I think this kind of has to go in the no sense column, or, you know, less sense, or
Right.
however you want to say it. Todd's parole officer, Leonard Smith, confirmed that Todd admitted to using cocaine on August 10th and that he got into a fight with Hirsch over cocaine. Todd told him he called a cab to go out to buy cocaine. However, at trial, he testified that he called the cab to go to a restaurant to meet his wife. Okay, so we got some conflicting stories. That's never good for the defendant.
It's not.
Todd said that Hirsch recognized him. He
And I
thought
hate
Hirsch's
this.
name
Like,
was
it
Bob.
could have shown me where the
He
fuck
said
to
he
go.
owed him
I didn't
$20
have to
from an
do
earlier
this.
transaction.
Holy
Todd
shit.
told his parole officer that Bob pulled his knife out of his bag and there was a struggle. He said he put Bob in a chokehold. However, Todd testified that he didn't remember if he put his arms around her. So he's either lying to someone, lying to everyone, or he was so drugged out of his mind that he doesn't really remember what happened.
That can happen.
I will take your word for it.
Lara Miller's
In his closing argument, Ernest Peace told the jury that the evidence supported Todd's story and that Hirsch's broken bone and damaged artery could be explained by him hitting his neck on the seat, door, or floor. He emphasized that Todd had no motive to rob him because he earned $40 a day at work, had $1,500 in savings, was engaged to someone who made $350 a week, and they had $5,000 in savings together. Is it not possible for someone to be so wrapped up into drugs that they need to find money from outside sources because they don't want their significant other to know that they're spending all this money, to know that, you know, they're doing all these drugs?
Very possible.
I would say so, absolutely. ADA Collins argued that Todd had told 8 different stories and that
Did you check the
$37
bag?
was found in his pants pockets.
Okay.
When added to the $43
Yeah.
found in the cab,
I was like,
matched
it just
Hirsch's total
disappeared, what the
income for
fuck?
day. That's a little damning. It exactly matches.
Not looking good.
So again, would that be a coincidence that he just happens to
Oh my
have
God.
$37 exactly in his pocket? On June 8th, 1988,
I just had
Todd
to fucking
Hodney was found
reset
guilty
a
of
whole
felony
fucking
murder,
mission.
intentional murder, robbery, and unauthorized use
Well,
of a
I
motor
got to
vehicle.
like the very
It's so strange,
end,
that
and then the
last
boss glitched, or
You know, when you
it wasn't even
compare
the
it to
boss.
the-
It was
the
like
three
one of
before.
the mini
Oh, of course,
bosses.
yeah. It's like,
And
Why-
I was
why
like
even
right
worry
there
about that?
towards the end to
On
go
July
into the
20th,
big boss.
1988, Todd was sentenced
The
to 25 years to life.
enemy
Todd said in court his
became
motive, "I
like
knew
God
that
mode
I've
glitched,
done a lot
and
of
then
things to hurt a lot of
I
people.
jumped
More
down,
than any man should
and
do
it
in
messed
life.
everything up,
It
and I
makes it
couldn't get
difficult
back
to
up
look in
to
the
where
mirror
I needed to be.
sometimes.
So I had
After
to
the
reset
events of that
the whole
night,
fucking
I had
quest.
no intent to hurt Mr. Hirsch. I had no intent to rob Mr. Hirsch.
I didn't mean to do it.
So, what is he saying? I'm a piece of shit. I know I'm a piece of shit, but I didn't do this. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, it was self-defense.
Todd explained he used a fake name that night because he worried the police would treat him unfairly if they knew about his record. He also didn't think that he was given a fair evaluation by the jury. Well, show me one defendant who's convicted who believes that the jury got it right.
Yeah.
Very
Very
few,
far and few, yeah.
if
yeah.
none, right? Todd spent the rest of his life in prison. Eventually, his case faded from the public eye and was overshadowed by the Jerry Sandusky case. According to ESPN, Todd shed some light on his
Urkel 96
thoughts and motive
zone,
at his
APS?
final parole hearing in 2000.
Urkel 96
He said,
zone.
on
Looking
the
for a new guild who
outside,
can act silly,
I was the
goofy,
All-American
and yet also help with those
I was
annoying
given
parts
a
of the
full
game?
scholarship.
Then please
I had
consider joining our
colleges coming
guild,
to
the
see me in
Sanguine
high
Court.
school,
We are a new 18
offering
plus social
to
guild
buy me
looking for new
cars
members.
to go to school.
We will raid
give
like
me money.
Vikings, and
I
afterwards we will
chose
drink
Penn
to the glory
State
of Valhalla.
and did very well there the
Small
first
Blue
semester.
Rose zone.
And to
Trader.
understand what happened from here, I actually have to go back to the decisions I made when I was 12 or 13 or even younger. The football was everything. My self-worth. It was who I was. It was also where I expressed what you might deem negative emotion. I never dealt with anything in my life, and I stored it up and turned it into anger on the football field. And it made me a very good football player. When I first started playing, I wasn't very aggressive. And they taught me to channel my emotions and become where you don't have empathy for people. The other team is your enemy, and it's your job to destroy them. So I started to develop at a very young age. My view of being a man was that you didn't show emotion. I had older brothers. If I cried in front of them, they made fun of me. So I really didn't have any other coping mechanism other than you just internalize it and bring it onto the football field.
He said a lot there.
He did, and I'm not saying that he's, 100% wrong or not telling the truth. I think for many athletes, the fact that they excel at a particular sport is a lot of their self-worth.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, I don't know what this has to do with committing sexual assaults and murder. It's almost as if he's saying he's blaming football. Football turned me into this monster because it taught me that I had to push everything inside. I don't know. It almost seems like that's what he's saying. And I think that's a little tough to buy. Now, the part about not crying and showing emotions, and that was true. That happened, when you and I were younger.
It did.
You were told, be a man, don't cry. Especially if you played football, it was a very macho kind of thing. You had to act a certain way, and
Certainly
Small
didn't
Blue
want to
Rose
cry.
Zone.
And those
Looking
who
to spice
didn't
things
got
up?
made fun of.
Joined
or ridiculed.
Guild. Side
Todd
potatoes.
said that he
Goofy lot
eventually
with regular
started to
guild
view women
activities
as
and
sexual
contests.
objects.
New and vet players
After he
welcome.
was suspended from the team,
Small Blue Rose
he lost
Zone.
his
Guild.
ability to
Spicy
play.
potatoes.
And he was no longer able to
Tasty's
have
Trading
sex
Company,
as much
Lance
as he wanted
Crawford,
to,
Style
like he
Page,
did when he was
Opal
a
Engine
player
Guardian
and girls
Shield.
were more interested.
Tasty's Trading Company,
His relationship
Lance
with his
Crawford,
girlfriend at the
Style
time
Page,
fell apart.
Opal
Todd
Alambra
said,
Style.
at that time, I felt that it
Tasty's
was
Trading
because I was
Company,
no
Lance
longer playing
Crawford,
football.
Blueprint,
And I was
Colombia
unable to
Bookcase,
deal with that
Noble
rejection.
Small.
And somehow this developed
Tasty's
into
Trading
this
Company, Lance
fantasy
Crawford,
that I could make
Blueprint,
somebody
Donwood
give me
Table,
what I want.
Reclaimed.
There are certain types of
Tasty's
rape.
Trading Company,
If you know a
Lance
certain type of
Crawford,
rape,
Formula,
I was
Colombia
what you
Pup,
would deem a
Glass.
control rapist.
Tasty's
I would
Trading
use
Company,
the
Lance
necessary force
Crawford,
to make them
Formula,
have sex
Donwood
with me.
Lantern String,
If they
Short.
resisted too much, I
Tasty's
would
Trading
run away.
Company, Lance
But what I was
Crawford,
after was
Recipe,
each time
Citric
I had
Ambrosia.
sex with a woman, it was like
Tasty's
a
Trading Company, Lance
reaffirmation of
Crawford,
who I was,
Sketch, Figurine,
of
the
myself.
fish and the unicorn.
He really talks about self-worth
Tasty's
a
Trading
lot.
Company, Lance
Does.
Crawford,
Really had a
Crafting
problem
Motif
with that.
100,
Yeah,
Truce
now he
One
did
Helmet.
call himself a rapist,
Tasty's
but then
Trading
he said
Company,
every
Gideon
time I had sex
666,
with a woman.
Sketch X.
Yeah, he chose
Tasty's
those
Trading Company,
words
Hammer Time 347.
Yeah, and I can guarantee
Tasty's
you that
Trading
his
Company,
victims
Quantum
didn't view it that way.
SP3CT3RX.
Todd
Dawn.
Hodney died of cancer on April
Tasty's Trading
29,
Company, Quantum
2020. ESPN
SP3CT3RX.
reported that he
Dawn
was
would please.
comatose at the time of his death.
Tasty's Trading Company,
Hodney's
Big
daughter
Dragons,
said she
Austin.
didn't know the full extent of her
Tasty's
father's
Trading Company,
crimes
Sandy
until
Danger,
she
Val
talked to
Please.
ESPN in July 2021.
Tasty's Trading Company,
Growing
Little
up,
Housewife,
she was told
Unicorn.
that her father killed the drug
Tasty's
dealer.
Trading
She
Company,
didn't find out about
Simplify
the
8,
rapes
and Opal
until
Shield.
she received some of his legal papers after his death. She reported that her mother, Todd's former wife, was in a nursing home.
Tasty's Trading
a rough
Company,
way to
Little
find out that
Housewife,
your dad
100.
was a rapist.
Yeah. And I get it. You want to shield a child from that?
Blues Cruise,
Yeah,
Death
probably.
Assassin 47.
But it's going to be
Travel
tough
to me again.
when they get older and find out who their father really was. No, he didn't kill a drug dealer. And also, he was a serial rapist. Because that's what Todd Hodney was. He showed time and time again that, he was a danger to society.
Tasty's Trading Company,
That
Little
he
Housewife,
would
actually
continue
table instead,
attacking
please.
women whenever he had the chance or desire to do so. That's really the big thing that I took away from some of the stuff that he said. He equated sex and football with self-worth. He called himself a control rapist,
Tasty's Trading Company,
but then said that he
Danger.
felt
Thank you,
better,
Lance.
when he had sex with these women. And the fact that he could even say it that way is amazing, or view it that way. But he eventually
Tasty's Trading
escalated
Company,
to
Little
murder
Housewife.
after
Hi,
he
Lance,
was
you are epic.
given yet another chance at freedom.
Blew it.
And he blew it. I mean, again, we talked about how some of the sentences he received were too light. Now, it's easy to say that he was paroled when he
Tasty's Trading
shouldn't have
Company,
been after he
Gila,
goes
lantern,
on to murder
please.
someone. That's pretty easy to
Tasty's
say.
Trading Company,
But you
Hammer
have
Time
a lot of
347. Thank you.
prosecutors writing into the parole board
Tasty's
saying,
Trading Company,
this guy's
Quantum
very dangerous. You really
SP3CT3RS,
need to keep
2IBM
him
Lance.
locked up. Todd Hodney put his victims through trauma that will remain
Booze Cruise,
with them
Death
for
Assassin
the rest of
47.
their lives. And he destroyed
Excuse
a
me.
family when he murdered Jeffrey.
Tasty's
Hurd.
Trading Company,
He
what
was just
underscore did
a
underscore
kind
you
of a
underscore
monstrous guy.
learn? Anything
There's
unclaimed?
no way around it.
Yeah. Not a good human.
But just another guy, Gibbs, who wanted what he wanted and was willing to do whatever it took to get that,
And that's what he did.
regardless of how it affected others, how it hurt others. He just didn't care about that part. He only cared about getting what he wanted or getting the satisfaction that he wanted. But that's it for our episode on Todd Hodney. We got some voicemails. You want to check those out?
Let's hear him.
Hi, Mike and Googie. This is Ashley calling from upstate New York in a little town called the Cliffs of the Park. I have
Cruise,
enjoyed your
Death Assassin
podcast for a little
47.
while. I
Come
just
to
started
me.
listening to it about a week ago, and it's kind of helped me get through my day-to-day work. I work normally like 5 to midnight, so listening to it has piqued my interest. I've always been a fan of true crime, and I want to let you guys know that you guys are doing fantastic with how you describe everything and put everything into a good detail. And it's something that has always piqued my interest is to learn more about all of the serial killers.
Tasty's Trading Company, Lance underscore Crawford, ENP.
Bristleworm. Inkwell squid. Illuminated halosaur.
Booze Cruise, Death Assassin 47. Forsaken travel to me, please.
Bristleworm. Halosaur. Another one. Bristleworm. Another one.
Once had a new angler ask me the best time to fish. Easy answer, I said. It's right now.
Halosaur.
never going to believe this. Usually when we misplace a relic, we find it behind a couch in the Abbey.
Some more foul fishing. Oh, what the?
Laramil's amulet protects us both.
Great catch. See if you can hook another.
I can't, sir. The fishing spot's gone because we pulled out a frickin' man-fish. We pulled out old Greg.
Look, another can. Get closer to me, friend.
Our fate arrives. We have fallen.
Laramil's amazing.
Tasty's Trading
Who else
Company,
could help us find
Godfather
the
98682. Anyone have an extra corn
Been on the
flour?
lookout for that.
There's the final can.
Tasty's Trading Company, Squid_Doc82, Bill check.
Laramil's gift protects us both.
Tasty's Trading Company, Squid_Doc82, sending. Immortals Freedom, Divine Sinner 04, that was fun everyone. Tasty's Trading Company, Godfather 98682, thanks, smiley face. Tasty's Trading Company, Illick Sparkle, sent a stack. Tasty's Trading Company, Simplify 8, Ty kindly Lance as always. Tasty's Trading Company, Simplify 8, Ty Pup Up. Immortals Freedom, Divine Center 04, doesn't help that this is my first MMO, so that was New York far the biggest VC Eve ever been in. Tasty's Trading Company, Lance_Crawford, ENP. Tasty's Trading Company, Lance_Crawford, y'all have a GN.
The cans have been activated, Laramil.
Well done. Now, to complete the ritual. I see the ebb and flow of a pocket. Some guide, others chest. Laramil, do be careful. Agatha doesn't give up its secrets without a price. The ritual is not screwed. Please make sure Curate G'day. We have entered the infinite panopticon. But where are the cataloguers?
That hunger isn't native to Apocrypha. See how it shifts between the layers of reality? Attack while it's shifting, and its energy can power my ghost sight. Oh. Step into the focus to use my ghost sight.
careful, Proxy. I sense corruption.
You destroyed one sensor of corruption, but I sense more above us.
What did you do, Proxy? The corruption has lessened, but it persists.
My ghost sight. There's something nearby. Another sensor destroyed. Without my ghost sight, you'd never find them.
Well done. The corruption's hold weakens.
One more sensor. Use my ghost sight. That was the last sensor. The corruption should clear on its own now.
Whatever you just did, I sense the corruption.
Immortals Freedom, Exodus GLX, GGS gonna go hit the gym again, it'll be on tomorrow.
Hermaeus Mora has set a guardian gaze to protect
Immortals Freedom, Ghostiber, by X.
Carrier room, reeking of disease. Is this how they distracted me? Activating the room.
Guardian's vision is similar to my ghost sight.
Another room.
Nothing escapes its notice.
Find and activate the remaining room.
Activate all of the corrupted rooms, and you should be able to sneak past the eye.
Rattled by those heli-eyed rooms. Through the portals to the north.
Can you swing your weapon, please?
That ear of yours won't hold out much longer.
See how the fulcrum vibrates? What we seek is here.
Another eye. It looks like all the others to me.
Have faith, diseased one. This eye contains the memory of the dream we seek.
Then let's get this over with. I can't hide us between the layers of reality much longer.
Ah, Chris Mortis. I have no wish to harm. Turn back and let us finish what we started.
They dare enter one of the Mace Moira's forbidden memories. We must follow them. Let me open a portal. There.
Proceed carefully. Between the energy here and Lightcrown's manipulation of reality, Lyramil's portal could behave erratically. I knew it. But not what Lyramil intended, and now she's missing. Spellcasting should be left to the professionals. Look above us. Another portal. I knew it. Lightcrown's manipulation of the layers of reality caused Lyramil's spell to splinter. We'll step on through. I hope we will reach the layer once more. Keep moving through the portals. Each portal gets us one step closer to the Eye of Mora. Maybe Lyramil's a better spellcaster than I thought. Traversing different layers of reality is disconcerting. Quick, enter that portal!
Booze Cruise, Kilixaria, Haya.
If this one doesn't get us there, I'm going to start making things explode.
Booze Cruise, Death Assassin 47, take one, follow me.
On the walkway above.
Booze Cruise, Death Assassin 47, just survive. The Sweet Roll Champions, Miss_Cautious Dash, Backdoor Assassin WYD. The Sweet Roll Champions, Tag, Rev9, SHHHH.
I will continue. Heed my words.
If I learned anything as a Telvanni Magister, it's this. When a Dremora tells you to go right, you go left. Let's scream carvers. Prince Vermina's
Booze Cruise, Death Assassin 47, you use the XP pot? The Sweet Roll Champions, Tag, Rev9, doing backdoor stuff under Ska. The Sweet Roll Champions, Miss_Cautious Dash, smiley face. The Sweet Roll Champions, Small Blue Rose. Of course you'd participate in backdoor stuff. The Sweet Roll Champions, tag, Rev 9, Dawn, TU start. The Sweet Roll Champions, Miss_Cautious Dash. He stole my PvP name. The Sweet Roll Champions, tag, Rev 9, he he he. The Sweet Roll Champions, a Small Blue Rose. I would never. The Sweet Roll Champions, tag, Rev 9, come. The Sweet Roll Champions, Withered Roses Dash. Backdoor Assassin can visit me anytime. The Sweet Roll Champions, Miss_Cautious Dash, O.O. The Sweet Roll Champions, tag, Rev 9, Booze Cruise, Death Assassin 47, put companion away. The Sweet Roll Champions, a Small Blue Rose, Dash. The Sweet Roll Champions, tag, Rev 9, Dash Hush.
I won't let you do this, Space Forger!
It is already done. You will forget this ever happened. Everyone will. It is the only way to preserve reality.
Damn you, Mori! Damn! No!
The smell to make all of reality forget. I can barely imagine. Come on. We need to find Torbessard.
The Sweet Roll Champions, Withered Roses Dash. You'll have to squeeze through the door though.
And now you know the next Morris grand betrayal. Once I restore Vermini's statue, the process of restoring the memory will begin. I suggest you defend yourself.
That'll teach them not to cross us.
The Sweet Roll Champions, tag, Rev 9, I'll get the Lockpicks XD.
This memory has changed. Tristan, speak with me. I erased all evidence of his. Torvasar, the threats use this portal. Return to Laramil's study. We will talk again soon.
There you are. I was afraid you might have been lost in the vault when the opportunity to enter a place of forbidden knowledge was snatched from me. Ah, with that, then only I would have it no other way, Proxy. We followed Hermaeus Mora's enemies. What you described. Yes. Torvasard and Blightcrown and Fixated, perhaps. This portal will return you to Necron.
Master Shinreni murdered me to avoid the scrutiny of the Assembly of Masters. What else might she do to further her ambitions?
All of that stuff you hear about, Apocrypha containing horrors beyond mortal comprehension, those horrors seemed pretty comprehensible to me.
Mortal return. I thought I recognized that rainbow in the fabric of fate.
I hoped Laramil would be with you. We have news. Scrooge and I are...
Hear it or not.
Return.
The spirit makes a good point.
J. Zone Elefria. Mr. Hardy, Zone 4. Tasty's Trading Company, Big Dragons, Inc. Auction. Tasty's Trading Company, Big Dragons, Eye Blueprint, Rough Box, Boarded. Tasty's Trading Company, Big Dragons, Eye Blueprint, Rough Container, Cargo. Tasty's Trading Company, Big Dragons, Eye Blueprint, Rough Crate, Bolted. Tasty's Trading Company, Big Dragons, Eye Blueprint, Rough Crate, Reinforced. Tasty's Trading Company, Big Dragons, Eye Blueprint, Rough Platform, Stage. Tasty's Trading Company, Big Dragons, Eye Design, Rough Bag, Burlap. Tasty's Trading Company, Big Dragons, Eye Diagram, Dark Elf Basin, Ringed. Tasty's Trading Company, Big Dragons, Eye Diagram, Rough Bull, Common. Tasty's Trading Company, Big Dragons, Eye Diagram, Rough Hatchet, Practical. Tasty's Trading Company, Big Dragons, Eye Diagram, Rough Knife, Butcher. Tasty's Trading Company, Big Dragons, Eye Pattern, Rough Bedroll, Basic. Tasty's Trading Company, Big Dragons, Eye Pattern, Rough Stretcher, Military. Tasty's Trading Company, No Empathy TTV, Air. Tasty's Trading Company, Big Dragons, and More Than One in Whites. Tasty's Trading Company, Big Dragons, Eye Open. The Sweet Roll Champions, Scouter 2700, Vet Pledges anyone? Tasty's Trading Company, Big Dragons, I Kidding First X takes all XD. Tasty's Trading Company, D4L3_311, X. Tasty's Trading Company, Big Dragons, I sent. Tasty's Trading Company, Scouter 2700, anyone for vet pledges? Tasty's Trading Company, D4L3_311, Tie Big. Tasty's Trading Company,